Following a riveting game up in the Motor City, the action heads south on this Thanksgiving Day, deep in the heart of Texas at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, where today we've got a good matchup, as good as we could ask for, as part of the John Madden Thanksgiving celebration, the Chiefs and the Cowboys on EA Sports. It's a tradition that began in 1966, and off we go on a Thanksgiving afternoon in Dallas. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Off the play fake, here's O'Connell. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
It's zone defense right away here defensively, and I know that these linebackers and DBs are going to be tested throughout. They passed the first test, though. This one falls incomplete.
Here's the local Texas product, J.K. Dobbins. And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going into the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City 1st down.
Hey, they got to earn every down. Let's go. No, 18 Cardinal, 8.
A give, Dobbins trying the right side. Down the right sideline. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, his 11th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. And his kick is good to make it 7-0 KC. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And what a return. Great field position all the way out to the 48 there.
Well, you gave up the first touchdown of the game, but how about the response? Big-time return. Now it's their chance to try and put points on the board.
Fields. He'll swing this out to Judkins. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Now a 2nd and 2. They'll run it. Here's the rookie from Ohio State. A nice opening right away as he'll maneuver his way up to the 32-yard line. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
First down, right back to Judkins. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31. From the 31, here's a 2nd and 8.
Solid 29.
Here's Fields. And it's knocked away and incomplete. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. The 22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down.
Here we go.
Fields now to throw. Now he'll tuck this and run. Airs it out toward the corner of the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Dallas Goedert, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own. Point after, right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And that one not returnable. It's over the back line to the end zone, so that's going to be spotted up at the 30-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivating groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first.
I know this may be jumping the gun a little bit, but 7-7, they're flinging it around like crazy. Look at the drive that's going on here. Partner, we may have to start thinking about one of these defenses just holding someone to a field goal and maybe trying to get an advantage that way.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Well, this defense for the Cowboys, they were quite formidable in the win over Philly a week ago.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Elijah Moore, the intended receiver. But now it'll be 3rd down.
Ready. 60 Bison, 60 Bison. Ready.
Throwing, O'Connell. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 34-yard line.
Okay, ready. Set. Ready.
Now O'Connell. They set up the screen for Dobbins. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35.
Let's go. Kill.
And once again, O'Connell back to throw. Quick slant to Shakir. So the pitch and catch good for 11. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Even against double coverage, he found enough of an opening for a noticeable gain. 2 guys on him, yet he finds a way to uncover downfield for the complete.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. But Charles, as a defender yourself who made a few of those plays back in your day, I know you know there's no better feeling than a pick 6 for a defender.
And the big thing is when you take it and you realize you're out there and you've got a great chance to score, not to get overexcited and have one of the yard lines trip you up, or the turf monsters, we used to call it, knock you down before you get to the end zone. That didn't happen on that play. He carried it home.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
They got to go deep on this one. Hey, let's go. Look behind you. Check out.
Here's O'Connell looking to throw it. That's complete. It's Elijah Moore.
Let's go, baby.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 15 more yards there, and quickly another 1st down.
Doubles. DB, let's go. Here we go. Shot.
A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins. And he can only manage to get a couple.
Now,
Second and 8 coming up. Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, Brandon, sometimes I think when we watch games, we're actually watching a living museum because we're seeing the evolution of positions almost with each passing game. How about defensive ends nowadays and the way that they can run almost all the way across the field?
It is unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, they're so strong, but they're so lean. They can move so quick with those bodies.
It's almost unfair. You're supposed to be able to know where a defensive end is supposed to be on every play. These guys flash so quickly, you're not sure where they're going to end up.
The kick by McManus is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Touchdown, Cowboys! Call that an 84-yard kick return. And the Cowboys are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes it a 21-10 game. So now the other return teams out there, as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They'll look to make some inroads here, trailing 21-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. 75 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
Watch the sticks, it's coming.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Now it's O'Connell. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Down the left sideline. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Khalil Shakir, 48 yards. And the Chiefs are back within a score. Extra point from McManus is good. And it's now 21-17. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And a nice return, but he's going to pay for it as they knock him down hard at the end. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They are back over the 500 mark for the year. A 3-game winning streak really coming at the exact right time, Charles, to get them back into playoff contention.
And it's always a question of when do you want your football team to peak? And everyone always talks about you want to be playing your best ball going into the playoffs, but sometimes you need your best ball before that time. And this team, going into this stretch of games, they are certainly playing their best football of the year.
And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Check 88.
Back to throw, Fields. He'll try to pick it up himself. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Well, here's your first example of how this guy can beat you in more ways than one, because they took away his arm, but he was more than happy to dissect them with his legs for that first down pickup.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
They ain't getting this one. Here we go.
To throw is Fields. Setting up a screen for Judkins. Dances by him. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown.
There you go.
Quinshon Judkins, 29 yards. And they are able to add on to their advantage. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, whoever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
Following the touchdown, Borregales back out to send this one away. And that is over the back line of the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll bring this out to the 35-yard line. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but, Charles, they look up, and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that.
Get the ball.
And this ball recovered by the offense, but remember, they cannot advance it here in the final 2 minutes of the half, so this will be blown dead, and it'll come back to the spot of the fumble. Now 3rd down and very long. Back to throw, O'Connell. Has his man, it's Shakir.
Hey, timeout.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 4th down on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And not an abundance of time remains on the clock, Charles, but you would think more than enough to try to extend this lead before intermission.
And when you're talking about extending the lead, I think you're talking about aiming for the end zone, because there is plenty of time for that. The fallback is to get 3. But in your mind, you put 6 on the board right before the half. That's a heck of a dagger and great momentum to carry into the locker room.
Here's Fields. And incomplete on the deep ball.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Screen down.
A shotgun snap, Fields. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Defense was expecting run, and they're dealt a pass of over 15 yards.
Play pass. Come on, man. Somebody
I got you, 88. I got you.
Turbo's right.
Again, Fields. Throw right side, caught by Goddard, the tight end.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Let's make a stop.
Now it's Fields. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. That's a cornerback in for the sack, Tre'Davious White. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Now Fields. And that is incomplete.
Well, they had that one sniffed out defensively. That's a tough one to connect on when you got multiple defenders in the area, and it winds up incomplete.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. So that, Charles, a season long, and since he's a rookie, I guess we can go ahead and call that a career long as well.
I love how you put that together because, saying, okay, has to be career, right, since he's a rookie. Well done by you, but I definitely like what I've seen from him so far this year. Very distinguished college career. He's looking right at home here in the NFL.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. When you're a capable runner, oftentimes your quarterback coach, your offensive coordinator, they love to see you break the pocket and go ahead and take off. I think he could have gotten vertical and picked up something there.
But I think the ball's out. It's picked up by the Cowboys. Now inside the 25. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys. Well, Charles, not only did they fumble the football, but they're starting to fumble away their chances here a little bit. We've got a 3-score ball game now here in the first half.
And the last thing you want to do, partner, is help the other team with what are avoidable turnovers. You want to hang on to the football because you're already playing against a good team. You're just making it easier for them by giving them extra opportunities.
And that is over the back line of the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll bring this out to the 30.
Watch the draw still. Come on. Set it.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive.
Here we go.
They'll start on the ground with Judkins.
Run.
Down the sideline he goes. Inside the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Quinshon Judkins, his second touchdown of the afternoon, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Extra point right down the middle, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Following the touchdown, Borregales back out to send this one away. And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line of the end zone, so this ball will come out to the 30 now. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive.
Let's go.
They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. 88 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Now 2nd and 3. Now a shotgun handoff, Blue. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time.
On the ball, fellas, on the ball. Let's go. Hurry up. Flare.
Fakes the handoff. Now O'Connell to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
18 Cardinal.
Here's O'Connell. Into the hands of the tight end, Dalton Kincaid. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down. And O'Connell now to throw. To the right side, and he's got more complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
Back, blitz, blitz. 19, Tiger, 9.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Here we go. Let's go.
Play action. Now O'Connell. And this one incomplete. Oh, he couldn't hang on to it in the end zone, and that's one that'll haunt you. And now it brings up 3rd down. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Out of the shotgun, here's O'Connell. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Drew Sanders. And the Cowboys are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. Well, when I looked down, he was kind of shaking his head right after he threw that pass. What did you see?
Well, from a defense's perspective, anytime you have your eyes back towards the quarterback, you're in a position to make a play on the ball, whether it's a big-time play by you or an overthrow by the quarterback. You have a much better opportunity.
On the ground, it's Junkins to start the drive. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run. But the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Go.
First throw now for the backup Wentz. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Here's Logan Cook now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. A nice job getting free on the return for 13 yards. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
O'Connell from the gun on 3rd down. And they'll find the open man. That's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd.
Back on the field. Hey, watch the ball. Watch the ball. Get your eyes on your kids. Let's go.
Now a toss left side for Dobbins. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Buried behind the line by Christian Wilkins.
And another long drive from the offense, but the defense is denying them the end zone. Nothing to show for the last drive offensively. They can't come away empty-handed again.
And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. From the shotgun, O'Connell. He hits blue. And he will take it on in for the Chiefs touchdown. Jaden Blue, 28 yards. And the Chiefs get a bit closer. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10. Now he's loose at the 40. Inside the 20. And he's going to get it down to the 14-yard line. 59 yards rushing for him now on his first 2 carries of the ball game. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
Let's get the pressure. Come on. Here we go, Pac-Man.
Again, it's Johnson. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up 1st and goal. We're on to the 4th here on Thanksgiving Day. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. Johnson will struggle to get to the line of scrimmage as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Go.
Wentz. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Well, 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. The big Vita Vea pushing his way through to wind up with a sack. The defense, they brought the house. That O-line, they were overwhelmed.
To put it mildly, because they didn't have enough bodies to block all the guys that came at them. Their best move, how they would have been better served, just turn around and yell, "Look out!" because here they come.
Well, ultimately, not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD, but unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That one, a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your number 1 cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. The reason why they're down. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Throwing, O'Connell. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Now O'Connell. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on third down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Dalton Kincaid, 32 yards. And the Chiefs' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. So the Chiefs opt to keep the offense out there, and they'll line up to go for 2. O'Connell's throwing for it. And unable to connect. They don't get the 2-point conversion here. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Now a hit and a loose football. And I think the Chiefs have it. They do. So a turnover there on the kickoff. And don't look now, but that just made things a little more interesting.
Very interesting, because when you're trailing in a game, these are the mistakes that you pray for. You just went down and scored. Now you get the football right back with another great opportunity.
It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
A good position to be in here, second and inches. To throw here, O'Connell. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them, because just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
The Chiefs on third down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. Picked off by Andrew Makuba. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Oh, how about this? No good. Just his second miss of the year, and our score will stay right where it is. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And that last pick six may have been the backbreaker as they now face a 3-score deficit in the fourth quarter. They need points quickly. It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll make it second down.
Right here, right now. Let's go, two, baby.
Here's O'Connell looking to throw it. Over the middle and complete to Addison. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Check nickel. Go for.
Off the play fake, O'Connell. Now he fires deep for Shakir. And this is caught. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Khalil Shakir with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Chiefs are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. He's got it. So they convert the two. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a two-score game. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. If they can score here, they have a chance to make this a three-possession game and all but put things to bed. They'll try to run down some clock with Johnson. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Taken down by Pete Werner.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
Here we go.
Out of the gun, Fields. Now he's going to step up and run. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
I am willing to bet that he got a monster grin on his face when he saw what was happening. Man covers were so committed to denying a big throw that it pulled attention away from him, and he had an easy lane to hit, and hit it he did.
To the 27-yard line. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes and get out of here with a victory. Second down and 6 now.
We got to finish, baby. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Here we go. Green 19, just attack.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. Down right around the 25. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go. Back to throw. Fields. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
Hey, let's go, baby. Play smart. Nothing deep. We need a turnover.
They'll run for the gun. It's Judkins. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. And that one going to be off target and incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
And darn right, they did something to disrupt that timing.
From the gun, here's Fields. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's fourth down. On now is Andres Borregales to try the field goal. This to make it a 3-score game late. And his kick here is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
Back to throw, O'Connell. A short throw pulled in by Kincaid. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. The first down line at the 34 here on third down. O'Connell looking to throw yet again. Now he'll tuck this and run. Drops it to Blue, complete. They call it a loss of a yard there. And that's going to make it fourth down. Did they maybe play that too safely on third down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have fourth down to try and pick it up.
And it's incomplete. So now only 7 seconds remain. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it'll be a turnover on downs. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And this coaching staff, CD, I think you'd agree, pleased with this overall effort.
Oh, I think they're more than pleased, right? They've got to look at each other like, wow, we just pulled this one off in a big way. Great job of motivating. Even better job of game planning. They were facing a top 10 defense, so they had to make sure that everything was buttoned down and they had it ready to go, and their guys executed.
Yeah, they were concerned not only about moving the ball through the air, but also on the ground, but both really started to come in sync.